Just continuing to be in her corner and cheering her on. I think the biggest thing, especially as a player and a competitor, it's super hard when you have to sit out. And so for us, just making sure that she knows, listen, we got your back no matter what. And I think that's really all we can do, because as a player, you deal with stuff differently and you kind of just get through stuff differently. So I mean, we're just doing our best job of just letting her know, like, listen, we got your back, take your time, but we got you.
What happened in that locker room? Did they form a super team or start a motivational tour? Whatever it was, Aliyah Boston's mic drop moment lit a fuse under the WNBA and sent shockwaves through the internet. This is the kind of chaos we live for. Think the All-Star Game had drama? That was nothing compared to what Aliyah just said about Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just post-game praise. It was Foolin' Beyonce meets Oprah energy.
Caitlin, I'm just curious, how have you seen Aliyah's playmaking develop this season?
To be honest, I'm not sure it's changed, because I've always said Aliyah is a great playmaker. If you watch her game, you know how good she is with the ball in her hands. She brings the ball up full court. There's even times last year, I think it's just a comfortability thing, because in the past she plays more on the block, and then since coming into the league, she's kind of played a little bit more in the perimeter. And now with the offense that we run with Steph, I think just having the ball in her hands and really orchestrating that, especially if I'm getting picked up 94 feet or the other team's pressing, like, we feel very comfortable giving Aliyah the ball to bring it up full court. So
Aliyah Boston does more than simply basketball. She is distributing energy outside, as if it were a stimulus check. Mid-huddle, you receive a screen, a rebound, and a boost in confidence. She has perfected the art of being the team player who elevates everyone in her vicinity. It's total game-changing charisma in a jersey, not just chemistry.
Honestly, I'm trying to remember the other one. Another one was to Aliyah that was soaring out of bounds.
It's all right. Don't worry, because don't worry, because I mean, you look at Caitlin and you look at the way she passes the ball, and so sometimes things are gonna happen that way, and that's okay, because we're not gonna let her hang her head. We're not gonna hang our head off of any missed passes, because we're still continuing to gel together, and we know that she's a great passer. So if she thinks she can get that ball there, she's gonna throw it, and if I miss it, then we're good. All right, don't worry, we're good.
She is essentially duct tape in the WNBA. Tough, trustworthy, and preventing everything from collapsing, in contrast to some of the more perplexing front office maneuvers we've witnessed recently. Additionally, Lexi Hull is the spark if Aliyah Boston is the glue. Criminally underappreciated, yet quietly important. Lexi doesn't see any hot opinions or headlines when she looks at Caitlin Clark. A straight-up hooper is what she sees. Not a debate topic or brand, simply a baller who transforms defenders into memes and hardwood into highlight reels. They are constructing something strong in a league that is still beginning to appreciate it. They are more than just teammates.
It's great playing beside her. I think the attention she gets and her ability to see the floor and make the right decision in crucial times are really important. So it's really great, and I feel like how I've helped her is just continue to allow her to know that, like, she's made for this league. She can dominate in this league, and just to continue to be her.
Boston's sentiment is being echoed by Lexi, who has been ignored more times than a WNBA highlight reel during a national halftime show. Caitlin is the future, not just someone who fits in. Next is Kelsey Mitchell, who appears to have at last located her long-lost basketball soulmates as she walks around. Like a lone Uber driver in heavy traffic, she carried this franchise for seasons. She is currently riding deep with a full squad of certified hoopers, though, who genuinely reciprocate the passes and the favor. It goes beyond a simple rebuild. It is beginning to resemble a revolution.
Caitlin Clark, the GOAT. Greatest of all time without a title.
I mean, duh. Yeah. We talked about how great Coach Staley was, right? How authentic she was. What did she say before she left? She gave her an interview after the game, right? Press conference, this and that. And the last she said is Caitlin Curry Clark. If you're out there somewhere. And she said, yo, you are one of our biggest GOATs. You've changed the game. You guys love to talk about Brianna Stewart and how great she was, right? Teron said, who else you got? Maya Moore. All these was phenomenal, though. They ain't changed the game.
The excitement in her crossover is audible. In motion, it's confident, fluid, and almost like a sigh of relief. She's giving out help at the outlet mall like it's Black Friday. Lastly, the double teams are being pulled by someone else. The grins are genuine. It's an electric chemistry. This is the kind of squad Kelsey has been waiting for. similar to a beloved program that was eventually renewed. All of a sudden, this Fever team tastes like one of those strange smoothie mixtures. Aliyah's mastery with paint. Caitlin was shooting with her flamethrower. Lex works so hard at his job. Fitbit begins to perspire as well. Chemistry is present. A rhythm is present. You crash, I cover telepathy is an instinctive idea that arises when two players are not merely acting for the camera, but are truly in sync. In essence, Aliyah's screens are pick-and-roll versions of love letters. After getting one, Caitlin finds that she has more space than a Kardashian.
They announced that Caitlin Clark wasn't going to be in the wasn't playing the All-Star game, or wasn't going to be in the three-point contest. Ticket prices went down 50% for the WNBA All-Star Game here in Indianapolis over the weekend. 50%. When she was hurt for 2 weeks, WNBA ratings went down 50%. Like when she plays, people watch. If she's not involved, people don't watch, and that's their biggest problem is you got the one player that people watch.
Defenses are left in a state of confusion. Do they call a friend and cry switch or trap? Aliyah. Even though Boston doesn't seek attention, it finds her. One thing is obvious from every single possession: box out, huge screen, and dive onto the floor. She isn't merely here to win. She is here to lay the groundwork. Furthermore, what she is creating is permanent. After years without it, the Indiana Fever squad has it at last. Not a patch job, not a let's wait for next season, but an authentic identity, real chemistry, real structure, and incredible energy. For the camaraderie of the cameras, this isn't a fake. It's real funky ride-or-die energy. The bench is a full-on support team prepared for every occasion with TikTok-level celebration routines. After a single three-pointer, they start performing coordinated dances that would make a boy band envious. However, there is usually a plot twist in fairy tales in this league. It all boils down to one thing despite all the brilliance that is simmering in Indy. Instead of being forced into a system or subdued, Caitlin Clark is free to play her game. We're not talking rebuilding if Clark is given space to cook and Boston continues to be the team's pillar. We are discussing the Renaissance.
And every they have it. Like this old girl Caitlin had.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Every barbershop talk, right?
Yep.
Those are real sports conversations, right? From my background, from my culture, right? It's LeBron, it's the Lakers, it's Patrick Mahomes. Nah, it's Caitlin Clark. She's changed the game. I haven't seen no player in basketball other than one dude, and he got 4 championships. He's one of the GOATs, Stephen Curry. I haven't seen nobody like her. And the last thing I'm gonna say is about why she's the GOAT without a championship. Did y'all see the game? You see the mismatch? Before the ball was tipped up, you just see the mismatch. And if she didn't play for Iowa, first of all, who's going to Iowa? Who's going there?
Therefore, someone at League HQ needs to stop treating the officiating manual like fan fiction. Drawing attention is undoubtedly beneficial for Caitlin's career, but not when she's also making elbow gestures, blindside hip checks, and off-ball screens that resemble warm-ups for WrestleMania. Focus on defense rather than borderline assault. You don't need body armor to let the girl hoop. A medical insurance class shouldn't be necessary each time she makes the trip to the hoop. It's just plain business to protect top players. It's not bias. A Ferrari is not something you purchase and then keep in a demolition derby. Give the girl some freedom to play. Allow her to dance like she's got it with the ball, rhythm, and resentment. Allow her to enjoy the floor without worrying about someone transforming her highlight reel into a bloody blooper compilation. This goes beyond Caitlin. It concerns the potential of this team. Because this team clicks, moves, makes sense, and is more than just entertaining when Aliyah is able to fully commit to her role, when Lexi is flying around like a caffeinated defense on wheels, when Kelsey is distributing like the Oprah of assists, and when Caitlin is stretching defenses like they're taffy.
Can we be clear about this? If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. She'd be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially. That is where we now are.
Once more, people are observing, actually viewing, not doom scrolling. On Reddit, People who were unable to name 3 Fever players from the previous season are now debating rotations. The terms Indiana Fever and legitimate contender are now frequently used in barber hop debates without any sense of irony. That is a synergy, not luck. That's what occurs when a franchise starts creating something genuine and eventually quits attempting to duct tape a roster together. And despite everything, Aliyah Boston continues to simply show up, carry out her duties, smile despite the commotion, and somehow improve everyone's day by existing. She isn't feeding the media beast or pursuing the drama, because the magic begins when players come to work with a sense of security, empowerment, and appreciation. Additionally, Indiana may be the league's newest secret weapon at the moment. A lot of Aliyah, a little bit of Lex's chaotic energy, and a bit of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell Boston is subtly changing what a franchise cornerstone is.
Look me in my eyes when I tell you this. Caitlin Clark will go down as the best WNBA player ever. Yes, the best woman to touch a basketball. Before we can even look into the future, we gotta go to the past to understand how we got to the present, to then have a clear depiction of what we'll be seeing in the future. Now, in college, she was the most storied college basketball player ever. The best individual basketball player ever. The stats and the game will tell you that.
Check out the scoreboard if you're still unsure if this pair is genuine. Pay attention to the masses. Ask anyone who hasn't cringed into their popcorn after watching Fever basketball for more than 5 minutes. In addition to clicking, Aliyah and Caitlin are cooking. And if the league can maintain their integrity and health, Indiana isn't merely rebuilding, they're improving. Furthermore, in this fast-paced WNBA media circus, quiet doesn't read as neutral. Rather, it reads as shady. If Aliyah hadn't spoken out about Caitlin, you can bet that people would have noticed. No, everyone witnessed what transpired. Not only did Caitlin encourage Aliyah, but with the bold font set to 100, she returned to the headlines. All of a sudden, Aliyah Boston is being treated with the same reverence that is typically saved for grandma's family recipes and jersey retirements. This team isn't simply working, they're completely changing Fever basketball's vibe.
Got people paid, she got better travel arrangements, she increased the ratings and the revenue, which obviously the WNBA benefited exponentially because now you got a $200 million deal. All of these things being considered, you damn right. It is appropriate that she got Athlete of the Year. She is special.
It's not simply the Caitlin Clark effect. Rewriting the playbook is what it is. This isn't fake publicity. The best thing a teammate can do is to make a gravitational shift. Leap onto the rocket and allow it to take you off. Aliyah Boston is already a top city. For years, she has dominated the paint with poise, toughness, and basketball acumen. However, the cameras are now rolling. The casual fans are now starting to take notice. People who are scrolling through channels are abruptly pausing in the middle. I mean, who is that post beast that breaks double teams and moves like she's dancing ballet because she's bored? That's AB. Additionally, because to Clark's attention, the entire finale, the Fever roster is in focus. The gamers who have been toiling away in the background are now shining. Analysis of off-ball movement is being done in slow motion. Sales of jerseys are increasing. The number of highlight reels is growing. Nobody is claiming that Caitlin made them famous. Such talent doesn't require a cosign. However, she gained attention and visibility. For years, women's hoops have been in need of attention. The megaphone is her. The message is them. And now it is quite evident to everyone.
I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. She carried a heavy load for our sport. And it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up as well. So Caitlin Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
Therefore, it was significant when Aliyah made that statement in public. It was more than a simple compliment. There was a moment, one queen identifying another. The internet essentially gave a curtsy. Because respect is shown when someone who is not required to speak chooses to do so. Unity is that. That is the epitome of basketball diplomacy. Since the stories would have written themselves if she hadn't spoken it, let's face it, it put an end to a ton of bullshit before it had even begun. For Aliyah, the spotlight is too much. The culture of the squad does not include Caitlin. Is a rift developing? You are aware of how it works. With a few direct words, Aliyah crushed it, and then everything became clear. For the record, let's quit acting as though receiving public acclaim is simple. These are athletes who compete, not inspirational speakers. Media manipulation, pride, and ego all get in the way. Aliyah Boston, for example, says, "Yeah, Caitlin's arrival helped shine a light on me, too," when she speaks. It's not a sign of weakness. Power is that. That leader has a deeper understanding of the game than just the box score.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star Game. The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. Iowa girl, Indiana girl. Well, who knows, and I've said this for years, when the wave hits, ride it. You don't know what it looks like.
Let's just call it that. A strong-heeled move. Concerned about spotlight stealing, Aliyah Boston is not out here. She is the center of attention. She is focusing the beam, changing the settings, and allowing the others to catch up. Although Caitlin brought the cameras, they are still in motion because of Aliyah. And this is where its beauty lies. It is reciprocal. Caitlin is no longer merely introducing logo 3ES. She's changing. She is learning how to cut and dish it inside, how to work with a powerful post player, and how to play within a system rather than constantly being the system. That is true growth. Maturity is that. And it's that kind of growth that creates a whole team. Hazardous. Caitlin wasn't necessary for Aliyah to be famous. Although her resume was strong already, Caitlin made it even stronger. Raised the volume so that what Indiana had been hearing all along could finally be heard by the rest of the globe. There is no rivalry here. It's a chemical masterclass. It is the result of two legends of the future coming together and choosing to build rather than compete. As a result, the Fever, the league, and all of the fans who are intelligent enough to watch won. Please subscribe and leave a like if you liked it.